Hey, it's so great to see you around here. How are you doing? I'm Akiko, and today I want to share some of my favorite plants that I got in 2020 with you all. So, I'm just gonna go straight into it and start with this Philodendron Birkin. I'm not sure if this is in frame. I just love how the leaves just like have these different tones of colors on it, and how they develop these like white variegation line and like these, and they come in as like little lines like that. I like how defined they are on these Birkins, so I just love it. And I also like the growth pattern. This is how it's going, and I also love how accessible it is in my area. And I like how it has these like red outline or like line here, and I feel like it adds some personality to the plant. Here's a very recent addition to my collection. It's the Philodendron Trubii. I don't know how to pronounce it. Trubii. I love the silver tones on the leaves and bluish tints on the leaves. I think it's doing okay. You can see there are some little stumps here, but it's from the damage that was caused during transportation. I've lost 2 leaves, but I think it will be okay. When I saw the posting of it, I was like, oh, it's so beautiful, I want it. Next, let's stay with the philodendron again. Here it is, the Philodendron micans. I love how velvety the leaves are. I like how it has some yellowish, reddish undertones and how shimmery they are. I'm not exactly sure if the camera will catch it, but in person it does have that shimmer to it, the velvety texture. It also has some reddish outlines on the leaves. I also love how the undersides of the leaves have more red in it. Mine is looking kind of scraggly at the moment, since these are also cuttings that I bought online. It looks like it's gonna shoot out some new leaves soon. I think when it gets warmer, I will give it a chop and propagate some so I can have a bushier plant. The leaves aren't perfect in this one because it did get scratched during transportation, but I still love it. It looks really pretty. I think this is the most close to perfect leaf that I have in this one, but nonetheless, it's still pretty. And honestly, I don't mind them having some scratches. Like, it makes it look more natural. We shall move on to the Hoyas. So let's start with the Hoya croniana silver. These are also cuttings that I got on Mercari, which is like an online platform that works basically like Craigslist, I think. I love how the splashes look on the leaves. This stem has more splashy leaves than this one. I'm not exactly sure what causes some leaves to have more splashy stuff on them, for the lack of better words. Either way, they look pretty. I'm excited for them to mature and send out some blooms eventually. Next, I have the Hoya obscura. When you look at it like that, it doesn't really have that much uniqueness to it. I heard that when they get stressed by like temperature, when it gets cold, their leaves turn red. It's native to the Philippines, and I'm from the Philippines, so I felt like sort of a connection there. And it came like this. It wasn't that expensive either. It was about $7. It's pretty accessible in that sense, and I heard they're fast growers, so I'm excited for it to send out new growths when it gets warmer. Yeah, next up I have the Hoya zambalis, and it's in water right now. I'm not exactly sure when I should pot it into soil or sphagnum moss. I have 3 cuttings in here. They look very well rooted. This is the first one. It looks very well. And here's the second one. And then here's the third one. It just recently arrived, so I'm letting it acclimate. and it's so pretty. The texture of the leaves have this like velvety texture, not exactly velvet, but something like that. The leaves are quite flat. I'm not sure if it's really meant to be like that, but the leaves also kind of like curl inwards. It's happening to all of them, and they're in water, so I don't think it's because it's underwatered, so it's probably just the way they are. Next I have the Hoya Pollinera. It's growing almost perpendicular like that, so I don't know what's going on. It's not because like the root it's not because of the stem snapping, but it's just really like that. So I guess I'll be letting it trail. I was thinking about like adding a plank or a moss pole behind it, but I don't think that's really necessary for Hoyas. So I think I'm just gonna let it trail like that. I love how the leaves look. They're very unique. Like each leaf looks very different. Each leaf is different on like every plant, but this one you can see the difference. Like the edges of this leaf have like this interesting shape. This one, it's quite narrow, I would say. This one, it's not as symmetrical as the other one. This one, it looks like a diamond almost, like diamond shape. It's really interesting. I can't wait for it to grow. I'm looking forward to how it's gonna turn out. This is the Hoya, oh no. Oh, this is the Hoya Rosita. I love how it has these like purplish, reddish outlines on the leaves again, and the leaves on this one feel quite thick, especially towards the center of the leaf. It has that waxy texture again. It's not as velvety as the Zambales. The touch of it feels quite close to the Obscura. The leaves are much smaller than the Carnosa or the Obscura, narrower, and it has that, again, purplish outline on the leaves. I also like how the leaves look on this one. The colors on this one look really great and interesting. Again, this one is also from Mercari. I love it. I also can't wait for this to mature, and I hope it does well in my care. Here's the Pothos Teruno Shangri-La. I know that this plant can be quite polarizing because some people say that it looks like it's cooked spinach, and I can definitely see what they mean about that. It's definitely unique. Some people would love it and some people would hate it, but these are very, very interesting plants. I actually got this one because my original pot is looking very sad. This is the first pot I got of the Teruno Shangri-La. It started out a pot this size and it did size up, but as you can see, it's looking very sad. It got underwater for too long, and then I watered it and it kind of had some root rot going on. I actually noticed some variegation on their leaves. Now it's kind of hard to tell because of the light and because they're like shrinked up like that because of their leaf, but you can see some of the variegation. This one, the leaf I just showed you, this one has more of a yellowish variegation, and then this one, if the camera will pick it up, I'm not sure, it has more of a white variegation. Very interesting. That's enough about the Shangri-La. This one is the Hana Hana. Actually, my mother plant is this one right here, and it also started out as big as this one. What's very interesting about them is that when they start out, new leaves come in with this like almost whitish, like pastel yellow, and there's also another one here, and it looks like someone used a green coloring pencil to add the green on them, and this is like a good example of what I mean. And then as they mature, they turn into like these darker green leaves. And another thing about this, I didn't know, they also can develop variegations. So I have one mature leaf here that has some white here and white towards the edges here. And I also have another leaf here that develops some variegation. This has quite a bit of white in it. I didn't expect them to do that. What a surprise. I noticed that between my Teruno Hanahana and Teruno Shangri-La, the Hanahana grows much faster than this one. Up next I have the Teruno Carnival with me. I also love this plant. The Hanahana and the Carnival also grow pretty quickly. I think it was derived from the Pothos Neon, Pothos Lime. They go by different names in Japan, so I'm a bit confused, but I'll have the proper name on the screen. You can tell that they share a lot of similarities because their juvenile leaves come out with this neon color. Then they gradually develop and mature into leaves like this one, and they develop these like darker green splashes or marbling. They can also sometimes develop this like shriveled look, like shriveled leaves sometimes. I'm not sure if that's because of like humidity or temperature, or it's what's in their genes. I have another Teruno Pothos. It is the Teruno Fanfare. It has a lot of variegation. It's like almost white. Again, some of the leaves also come out a little bit crinklier than your regular pothos. But I love the marbling. The shape of their leaves are also very interesting. Among the Teruno varieties that I have, maybe the Carnival and the Hanahana would be the fastest growing ones among the Teruno World Series that I have. And then this one is like medium, and the Shangri-La would be on the slower side. I'm very happy to have these. This video ended up being much longer than I expected it to be. It almost became like a plant tour because I introduced probably half of the plants that I have. But this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon.